Hey, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Facebook Live. I'm Saquon.
I'm Scott Egan.
And don't forget, before we get started, you can watch this and listen to this live stream later through our InForum YouTube channel, or you can find us on your favorite podcast platform. You can also find us on inforum.com/podcast under InForum Minutes.
Let's start off with your local headlines this morning. Fargo police are continuing to look into that deadly shooting that happened near NDSU's campus over the weekend. We now know the names of those two victims, 28-year-old Jaquan Gatewood and then 27-year-old Kier Davies. They each died from gunshot wounds, and they both lived in Fargo. So this is kind of what we know so far about the incident. Officers were called out sometime after 3 o'clock Saturday morning. When our own crews got there, one body was found in the driveway, while the other body was in an ambulance being taken away. Police still have not said if they're looking for a suspect in this case, but they are asking anyone with any information to call authorities with that information. So it's still something they're looking into, and the officers currently say they're waiting on autopsy results.
Yeah. Also, we know that there was a weekend crash in Grand Forks, and thankfully no one was hurt in that crash, but we're learning from Grand Forks police that the driver actually took off running and was nowhere to be found after that crash. That all happened on Friday night, right at the corner of Demers Avenue and South Washington Street. An SUV was traveling north on South Washington, and then it was hit by a car that was turning. Now, that car, which was turning, actually ran a red light when it turned, and that's when that driver started running away. So when we were looking into this story this morning, we realized that the registered owner of the car stayed on scene. That's all that the police would tell us. And so we're assuming that maybe the registered owner was either the passenger, if they had to stay on scene. Maybe the registered owner did, decide to come after the car. Who knows? We're still working to find that information out. But that registered owner was charged with no liability insurance. So luckily, again, no one was hurt in this crash. But we're also trying to figure out if they're still looking for the driver who ran away.
Yeah, kind of interesting.
Yeah.
All right, we do know that one man is dead after a crash that involved a school bus in Ward County, North Dakota this weekend. A Lewis and Clark School District bus driven by 77-year-old Janice Fikert failed to yield at an intersection when the bus was crossing Highway 52. So while the bus was crossing the road, the bus was hit by another car that was heading west. That car was driven by 89-year-old Carmi Nelson, who died of their injuries at the scene. And then the passenger in that vehicle was 90-year-old Helen Nelson, and she was seriously hurt. The bus was carrying several students at the time. Thankfully, none of the kids in the bus or the bus driver was hurt. So, sad story there.
Also right now, a heads up for North Moorhead drivers and people in Clay County. There's a road that's being closed for the day today for some railroad maintenance. That closure is on Highway 22, very commonly known as Wall Street Avenue North in Moorhead, and that's right at the intersection with US Highway 75. And so again, this is for some railroad maintenance, should be back open by the end of the day.
Cool. All right, East Grand Forks, the city clerk there says there were no problems with ballots from the most recent city council vote. This comes after a council member voiced concerns that Ward 4 ballots had listed Ward 2 candidates. This is the second time the council has met to discuss the issue, but the city clerk informed council members that there were no Ward 2 candidates listed on that Ward 4 ballot. The council voted 5-1 to accept the results.
Yeah. Also, the Maplelag winter trails are set to be open this season, but keep in mind it's going to look a little bit different this year because of that fire that burned down the lodge. So Maplelag Resort, it's in Callaway, Minnesota, and it's getting ready for the trails for the season, especially after getting several inches of snow this past week. Well, right now the future of the lodge is obviously uncertain, but we do know that when those trails open back up, what could look a little bit different is that the amenities are going to be very much limited, right? They're saying, it might even just only feature a warming house and maybe some bathrooms. So get used to that idea of things if you're planning on heading out to Maplelag this season, that it's going to look a little bit different than it usually does.
Kind of a side note, the fire from the lodge, that's still under investigation as to what exactly caused it.
Yeah.
So. All right, so people that live in East Grand Forks, here's a heads up. Next month, you'll be given a chance to pay off any of your outstanding parking tickets.
Yeah, this is neat.
But you'll actually be able to help someone in need by doing it. You can donate some non-perishable food items to pay off certain parking tickets throughout the entire month of December.
Nice.
So a good way to kind of
Give back.
make good on parking tickets.
Yeah, seriously.
Kind of interesting. So they're just asking that you bring 5 food items, which will be donated to the city's food shelf. Those, of course, need to be non-perishable items. You can also just pay off the fine regularly if you want, but the city's asking that money then you just donate it to the food shelter.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Then if you don't have any parking tickets because you're a perfect citizen, you can still just donate out of your goodwill. So that's kind of cool too.
That would be me in that case, by the way, Scott.
And then you can just drop off any of those donations at the police department.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanksgiving, obviously a big talker with it just being, days away now. Yep. So crazy. But we're hearing from AAA that a lot of people are ready to travel this year.
Yes, they are.
So we know that it's predicting 54.6 million people will travel about 50 miles or more this Thanksgiving holiday. Keep in mind, there's a projected 46 million expected to travel by air this Thanksgiving holiday season or something like that we saw from AAA this morning. So kind of crazy, but get ready for that. I mean, obviously, road conditions are a big talker as well, just because we got some snow. And if we had Dylan today, we would probably be able to talk a little bit more about that. But you'll have to tune into First News throughout this week just to make sure that there are no travel impacts. Sounds like there won't be, but of course, anything can always change. So
yeah, we're going to continue to track those road conditions all week long. That'll kind of probably be our top story as far as weather goes throughout the week, unless something unforeseen pops up. I do see one question on the Facebook Live there just about the food items from that story we read a couple minutes ago about the parking tickets and paying that off. They're asking that you bring 5 non-perishable food items. So that'd be like 5 cans or whatever like that. So
good question.
Yeah. Cool. All right, what else we got? We got some national headlines this morning as well. We talked about travel. Let's talk about a recall from Chrysler. They're recalling hundreds of thousands of heavy-duty Ram pickup trucks over concerns about engine fires.
And there are a lot of Ram pickup trucks in this area.
Yeah, jeez. All right, so Chrysler told the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration that they've been investigating reports of engine fires since June. The company says it is aware of 1 minor injury and 48 reports of fires, and then some different complaints or warranty claims that are all related to this recall. It includes 248,000 heavy-duty Ram pickup trucks from 2020 through 2022. Those are the models 2500 and 3500, that is. The company says it does not have a fix right now, but they are working on one, and Chrysler claims that they're going to be sending out a notification to any and all affected customers by the end of the year.
Yeah. Okay, Carson Wentz might be a big talker for your family this morning as well. Obviously, the NDSU standout, Washington Commanders quarterback. But there's word that he's probably not going to regain his starting spot this season.
Yeah.
Some people even saw this coming. So obviously, Wentz started the season 2-4 before he suffered that hand injury. But since then, the team has gone 4-1, with Taylor Heineke under center. And the head coach says he's made a decision at quarterback going forward. So
sounds like it's going to be Heineke's team for the foreseeable future. So
right.
How that plays out for Carson is yet to be seen.
I know, and that's what I'm curious about.
Because he's still under contract with Washington.
Right.
And he's making a lot of money there, so you'd assume maybe he gets traded or gets another chance.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But the Commanders are hot right now, so we'll see
what happens.
Also, let's talk about some postseason play locally for the FCS playoffs.
Yes.
NDSU earned a first-round bye. We saw that coming. They had a good record. But the team that was kind of on the bubble was UND.
Yeah.
They ended up getting into the bracket with an at-large bid, and then the Bison will have a number 3 seed, which is good for them. But UND fans were a little worried that they weren't maybe going to make it in after losing to the Bison in pretty handily fashion on Saturday. So good for the Hawks that they're going to be able to get at least a chance to keep playing.
Right now.
Don't feel attacked. You got a chance to keep playing.
Okay.
You can prove yourself.
Okay.
That's what you get.
All right.
But it's going to be pretty cool. So on the other side of the bracket, the Jackrabbits and the Hawks are opposite of the Bison.
Yes.
So if the Bison make it to the FCS championship game in Frisco. They could be facing off against SDSU again or UND again.
Either way,
So
that would be pretty
cool.
crazy matchup. Yeah.
And we can expect Dom to talk about that on Hot Mic today, most
Definitely.
likely.
Yeah, of course, Dom has his show, Hot Mic, from 9 to 11 this morning, WDAY Extra, InForum.com, so make sure you go join him. And yeah, I'm sure he's going to talk a lot of football, so just make sure you go join him on his show.
His Jets lost on a walk-off punt touchdown.
Oh, I think I saw these tweets the other day. Yeah,
over the
that's
weekend
not
too,
gonna...
so you can assume he's going to be having a take on that one.
He's such a big Kings fan. Oh, Lydia's going. Here, we'll turn on the camera for you for a second.
Really clouded over. At the end of first news at 7 o'clock, we still had some sun on the ascent. Now that's really faded away as the clouds are dropping in out of Canada, making that mostly cloudy Monday. Way up to our northwest, there's a little bit of light snow in portions of southern Canada. That eventually will work its way toward us, kind of scooping down to the southeast. And takes aim at areas along and north of Highway 2, where a trace to 1 inch is possible late tonight into very early tomorrow morning.
All right, Say, tell the people about that great deal for InForum.com.
All right. To the people. All right. Don't forget, for 99 cents a month for your first 3 months, you can get an all-access pass to InForum.com. All you got to do is grab your handy-dandy laptop or computer or smartphone, whatever you got, and type in InForum.com/subscribe and take advantage of it. Because Scott and I have been saying now, we don't know how long this lasts, and it seems like it's been going on for long enough. So, just take advantage of it. Maybe they forgot to stop the deal. I don't know. So take advantage of it while you can. I know it's something that we swear by here at WDAY. So, yeah.
Give yourself an early Christmas present.
Yeah, exactly. All right. What else do we got? We got our
show coming up at 11.
we got our show
4,
coming up at 11.
5.
Yep. And then 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 with our evening
the
coverage.
shows.
Yeah, literally all of the shows. I know Dylan Vogt is off today, but Robert Pointer will be filling in for him this morning, so that'll be really fun. And Becky Parker, obviously, on the desk as well. So, yeah, make sure you go join our crew all throughout the day. We're going to have you covered, and then we'll be back here tomorrow morning from 5 to 7.
Yes.
Hope you can join us.
Have a good day.
Bye.